I think you're still on mute, Raiz.
I can hear you now. I couldn't hear anything earlier. Okay, I can't hear you again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, so I've just done the intro on my side from a Momo perspective. I just wanted you to do your intro on your side, and then I'll kick off with the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Raiz. I work at MTN Group FinTech. I look after the Open API platform across MTN Group. So we are live in 14 countries. We do now, I think we do about 40 million financial calls a month, about 650 million API that are successful, about 25,000, over 25,000 developers that are registered on the sandbox, and over 2,000 partners that are connected into our API platform. Lotlo, would you like me to do a background of the hackathon? Just a thumbs up, thumbs down, or would you like to go from there?
Okay, I was thinking that maybe I just give a brief overview of Momo where we started, and then you can come in on the technical aspect. Thanks. All right.
It's visible now. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. So we're just going to cover two major areas today. So just to give you a brief history about Momo, where it started and where we are today. And as stated before, then Raiz will take you guys through the technical aspect as well as the hackathon. So as MTN, we launched mobile money in 2007, and we launched in Ghana. And the premise of what we launched was it started off as literally a peer-to-peer transfer. So if I had money in my Momo account and I needed to give level some money, it was literally peer-to-peer. If he's registered on Momo, I'm registered on Momo, then we could do the transfer. That was in 2007. So in 2009, as part of our expansion plan, we then onboarded, I think it was Ghana and Ivory Coast. 2011, further expansions again, we looked at Cameroon and Benin. And then I think our first milestone that we hit where we started measuring our growth was in 2011. Then we hit about 2 million customers that were active within the Momo base. And then within that year, we then looked at, I think the following year, in 2013, sorry, we then launched in Benin and Rwanda and Liberia. 2015 came, we then expanded our growth, went into Guinea, Zambia, and Swaziland. We had then grown over 400% to about 9 million plus active customers. And then in 2017, we registered, or we launched rather, in Congo and Guinea-Bissau. And by then, I think we had reached about 21 million active customers. And we also launched an insurance product called IO. All right. And then in 2020, that's when we launched in South Africa. Equally, we launched in Nigeria as well as Sudan. 2020, we were at about 46 million active users within all our operations. And then now, end of 2022, we were sitting now at 69 million users. And then we had launched numerous other business opportunities. So we launched Momo for Business, we launched APIs, we launched e-commerce. So that in essence is just to give you the trajectory of Momo, where when it initially started, it was literally a peer-to-peer, a very basic form of me to you. And then as the years progressed, there was a need to expand our product and service offerings. And obviously, industry and consumers kind of also gave us ideas in terms of what their needs are. So all these propositions that we added on as the years progressed were primarily based on what industry research we did, what needs we assessed in the market, not only in one operation, but within our 16 or so operations. And that's how we got to grow Momo as a platform. So ultimately, what we're trying to achieve is in two aspects, right? So there's a very intentional customer focused solution where we say we want to become the ultimate super app for any needs, any services that a consumer would be looking for. And that speaks to if there are any deposits or withdrawals that a customer wants to make at any given point in time, we will address that because we've got in excess of 15,000 touch points from an informal market standpoint. We have ATMs that you can use to withdraw cash. We have formal retail channels like your pick and pays where you can go and withdraw money. And over and above that, we're saying that if you're not looking at withdrawing the money, but you want to use the money within the ecosystem, we have registered, I think, about 9,000 informal traders nationally, and that amount is still growing. So if you have Momo on your wallet and you want to go to the corner store and buy bread, eggs, even airtime, if that corner store is registered for Momo, literally you can just go in there and then purchase using your Momo wallet. All right. If you look at the other features, I think most of you are quite familiar with the Nano loan where you borrow airtime from your network provider and then you then repay it when you top up at a later stage. So we do have those type of loans. Over and above that, we do have also nano loans where we can offer you a 50 rand loan or 100 rand loan. And that is based on the analytics that happens in the back end. We track your behavior patterns, we see what you're buying, we see your credibility, and we are able to ad hoc offer you those type of nano loans. And we've also done the study to realize that those type of loans are easily paid back as opposed to offering somebody a bigger loan that is unsecured, especially in the current economic times. It's quite difficult. It's quite challenging to then try and recoup that money. So we do offer loans, but notwithstanding the fact that we have also realized that there's a need for people who genuinely do need loans. So we do have partners that we've partnered up with that we can refer our customers to go and source those loans from them. So we become more of a lead generator as opposed to actually catering for those big loans. Our big launches in this year is international remittance. Understanding that obviously we function within the diaspora and we do have a lot of foreign nationals that are in country. So we will be launching officially international remittance within this year. It will not be official in terms of all the countries, but we're going to have a staggered phase approach, looking at the likes of SADC, Zambia. So our SADC countries will most probably unlock that first, and then look at other African countries where there's a lot of net export within us because we have a lot of foreign nationals that then remit funds back home. All right. And then I think P2P, we did discuss insurance as well. As I stated before, we do have IO, which is our partner, a subsidiary of MTN as well, that looks at insuring handsets at a far more competitive rate than what is currently out there in the market. All right. And then on the business aspect, what we are then saying is that we are ultimately looking for partnerships that are mutually beneficial, right? So we are saying we want to enable Momo through our APIs so that if there are merchants that want to use our APIs, they're able to self onboard, get access to Sandbox, test our APIs. When they're happy with them, then we'll formally them so that they can then provide Momo as an additional payment option on their platforms. We are constantly working on our e-commerce platform as I stated before, that we want to grow that bouquet of product and service offerings so that ultimately we become that super app that becomes the go-to place if you're looking for anything and everything, right? And then microloans and insurance. This is also an idea that we've come up with to say we understand that there are businesses, and I'll touch on it a bit later. We understand that there are businesses that are financially excluded because they don't comply to certain norms and requirements as per the formal banking sector. So we're also looking at how do we compete for that market where it is being excluded from participating within the financial sector. So in 2020, we launched Big Bang, we went live, and it was quite a big success. So this is in essence to just show you our launch. Speaking very close to our heart to say we are targeting the informal market. We are targeting merchants that trade within townships, within informal areas. That is quite priority for us. However, we're not excluding the formally registered businesses or the formal businesses that are mortar that are in established areas. We are all encompassing, but we understand the need to have a directed focus in terms of those merchants or those businesses that were previously excluded from participating within the financial services. Okay. Um, so what do we offer in essence as Momo, right? So there's five pillars. And the five pillars in essence are in order of ideation and maturity. So if you remember the initial presentation that I did, I said we launched in Uganda with P2P. So that relates to the mobile wallet. What the mobile wallet does, it allows you to cash in and cash out. It allows you to pay peer to peer. So that was the foundation and the base of what Momo represented. But as we ideated, as we grew, as we evolved, we started then adding the second pillar, which is payments, VAS, and ecosystem. So with payments, what we're saying is that we've enabled Momo as an app that allows you to pay for your municipality rates and taxes. If you have a DSTV account, you can pay for DSTV. If you want to buy airtime and data, discounted rates. If you need to purchase vouchers, that will enable you to give that voucher to Leboham because he needs to go buy groceries at Pick and Pay. Those have functionalities within the second vertical. Third vertical I spoke about, which is international remittance, which will officially be launched in there. Just yeah, be on the lookout. I think we'll do formal launch notifying consumers of international remittance. Bank tech is our fourth vertical. So bank tech speaks to insurance, nano loans, overdraft for consumers, overdrafts for merchants. So what we've done is that we also have a two-pronged approach to Momo. So there's Momo for an individual and there's Momo for a merchant. On the individual, for those that don't know, is that you register for a mobile wallet, we fika you, you're registered. And then with that Momo wallet, you are able to then cash in, cash out, and do all of those things. And then secondary to that, we've got the Momo merchant. So that is Momo customer as a business, right? So we offer Nano Loan Momo as a customer, but we will also start offering loans to businesses. So if you need over 10,000 loan because you want to augment your product and service offering or you want to increase your business, so those are the type of loans that we'll be able to offer to merchants. And then lastly is airtime. Okay, airtime lending. We have launched that merchant advance. That's what I was speaking about, and then scoring as a service. So that scoring as a service, I think for us goes to data analytics, analyzing the behavior of our consumers and our merchants, and then giving them a pre-qualification. So when you log onto the app, you might then have a directed focus to say, okay, Lebo, you pre-qualify for 500 Rand loan. So those are the type of data analytics around that tech that we'll do. And then lastly, which is insurance tech, we have an appreciation of funerals and what it takes financially to give a loved one a dignified funeral. So, as part of our insurance, we are also going to offer funeral cover insurance to our Momo customers. That will be at a very competitive rate. We'll also be able to offer prepaid insurance products. So, for example, let's say if as let's go, I need insurance for let's say what I'm traveling to Matati Elebohaye, and then I know that route is quite dangerous, and then might decide to then say, okay, I'll take out a prepaid insurance for myself in the event that something happens. And that is because potentially I might not have the financial capacity to have an ongoing insurance cover deduction every month. So on those times where I foresee that it could potentially be a high risk for me to travel, I'd be able to take out a prepaid insurance product. And as well, flexible insurance products. The flexibility there comes in once again on doing our data analytics. You say, okay, so Lebo's behavior is very different from Lukoko's behavior. So if both of us are looking for insurance, why should we have a base insurance? Let's understand the needs Lebo, let's understand the needs Lekoko, and let's provide insurances that will speak directly to the individuals for both from a cost perspective as well as a cover perspective. And then my last slide is, in essence, who are we trying to solve for? We're trying to solve for Mama Pinky from Zebediel. Mama Pinky normally she runs a business, right? It's a smaller than a business, very informal, high. So because of the type of business that Mama Pinky runs, is not able to go to the formal bank and get a loan. Right. So with Momo, we'll be addressing those issues. You say, now, if Mama Pinky is there, she's one of our clients. We have the data analytics behind that. If she's looking for a business loan based on the data analytics, we might be then in a position to offer her that business loan because we looked at her behavior, we looked at her type of spending, and then we are comfortable that yes, we can offer her loans. So we offer Mama Pinky a business loan through Momo Advance so that she can buy products. And then over and above that, understanding the dynamics within which she functions, we then add in an insurance feature to say, okay, Mama Pink, you're going to go to Shoppo, you're going to buy your products. On your way back, something might happen. Either you might get mugged or accidental or whatever the case may be. So products or your consignment is not insured. So understanding how business works, we then are able to then offer something that Mama Pinky would not have been able to be offered or would not have thought about it or would have thought that that option is for the of those who do have the means. So we're able to say, Mama Pinky, we understand your business, we understand the spaces within which you are working. Therefore, based on that, we're able to offer you an insurance cover that speaks to your type of business. And yeah, I think that's it from me. Are there any questions? Yes, sir.
You mentioned that you guys, since you guys have had an API for Momo, and you spoke quite a few about the functionality that you have for you. I want to know the prepaid insurance options that are available on the API. Can I have that? Can I access that and have that maybe on my own site of some sort?
It's a very good question. So I'm not technical. I don't know if Raiz will answer. If not, I've noted that and then I can give a little feedback to give to you. Is that fine? All right, Raiz, I think I'm done. I think you can get in on the technical side. If there are no other questions.
One more.
Sure.
How is that an account funded?
How's that count? Oh, yes, thank you. All right, so the funding of the account, you can do direct EFT. You can cash in at one of our agents. So we've got about 19,000 mobile agents that literally walk and travel the length and breadth of this country. So most of them you might find at taxi ranks, at train stations, at high traffic areas. You can also go to one of our MTN stores and cash in there, or you can cash in at our retail partners. So your Boxers, your Pick and Pays, you're able to cash in there. Or did I mention that you can cash in from your bank account? Yeah. So from your bank account, you can do a direct EFT into your Momo account. Yeah.
So can I also ask, is this the background that you're giving? Is it also to give an idea of what the development funds can, what type of ideas are you looking for in terms of?
All right. So Rai, I think we're not prescriptive in terms of ideas as long as they use. Let me not spoil it. Let Rais take you through the whole spiel, and yeah, he will the hackathon, the journey, and any other technical questions that might be required. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. You gave an analogy on Momo, saying your Momo app is based on businesses from you said you're going to look at the analytics of Momo.
Mama Pinky, yes,
business.
yes.
So how is that different from her going to an actual bank and actually asking for a loan? Because you're going to look at the analytics and look if she's actually qualified, if she's not a risk for the loan.
So,
How do
from
you
yeah, so the formal banks generally with informal businesses, they don't consider them because they're not formalized, right? So you have to be a registered business, SIPC, bank account, and that, right? So with Mama Pinky having a Momo account and using that Momo account as a business, we have the daily transactions. So we have an idea in terms of, okay, this much money is coming in, that much money is going out. And these are the trends behind that. So based on that information, we are able to then make a determination to say, all right, give them a pre-qualifier to say when she logs in onto the app to say, Mama Pinky, you pre-qualify for X amount.
Yeah, but she has to qualify first. So also in the bank, she has to meet certain requirements to
Yeah.
qualify.
But then she's not a registered entity. You understand? Unless if you are then telling me that banks are then funding entities that are not registered that want to grow. My understanding is that formal structures require you, for one, to come up with the business plan, do your forecasting, do your risk analysis, do a proposal within that, and then submit.
I just wanted to understand how is it different from the traditional way of banking, of getting loan from informal sector.
Yeah. Okay, in your view, what's the traditional way of getting a loan from a bank as a business?
You have to register your account with SARS, you have to have a business plan, that plan has to meet certain criteria. And if that business plan meets the criteria, then you qualify, then the bank has to, can give you the loan.
Yes. So with us, we just use the analytics. We don't need a business plan from you. We don't need the financial forecasting. So based on your behavior of that account, that is what then we use to help us determine whether you qualify for a loan or
So I think also what you're saying is that you don't know the traditional compliance.
not. 100%.
So there's no SARS, there's no company registration that you're looking for. What you're looking for is one's behavior online or one's behavior with the Momo. I don't know.
Look, and here's the thing is that we don't have how do I say, a one size fits all, right? So as an informal business, you might come to us and say, I need 1,000 as a business,
Sure.
right? he might come in and says he needs 50,000. At 50,000, we're assuming you're a registered business. You've got all the relevant documentations. You are a registered company. You pay SARS and, right? So depending on where your business is, in terms of, I suppose, maturity and registration, then the relevant process will apply. But for someone who's looking for a 1,000 Rand loan and requesting them to give you a business plan, that kind of hinders or excludes them from participating financially.
Based on that question. So don't you agree that there has to be certain conditions within the business, the analytics, so that this person can qualify?
No, 100%. 100%. So,
Using that logic,
yes.
how is that different from them using traditional banking? Because they also have to qualify. They have to meet certain conditions.
So we set our conditions as MTN. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Let's also, if I may come in there on
No,
that point.
worries.
Cool. So I think loans and having access to finance, financial inclusivity is definitely one of our pillars, and you've touched on that with the various questions, and that also what you've mentioned on our scoring systems. So the first part is, if I was to be able to open up have acceptance at my shop, for example. You've got Yoko, for example, you've got Bank, you've got Ikoka, but now Mama Pinky is able to open a merchant account, to self-enroll, to have a merchant account to accept payments in a matter of seconds. So you have your sub wallet as part of your Momo wallet, and that enables her to accept Momo through scanning of a QR code or entering your merchant ID when I go to purchase goods from our big. The other part, if you look at our ecosystem, where we are rolling things out in staggered portions. In Uganda, for example, we have Momo Market. Now, Momo Market enables Mount Pinky to go online by herself, advertise her goods, take photos, and now she has her goods online at Momo Market immediately. Uh, she has the ability to add or remove products, and now she's got a point of presence online, which she probably would not have been able to do in that short period of time. Yes, it's possible. You can do it. This is a short uh, solution to get your products online. And then, as part of the value proposition for Momo Market, for example, is the ability to get her goods delivered to a customer. So now we've got a whole range of, in Uganda, it's boda bodas, which are motorcycle riders that do we leverage on them to pick up the product from our in Kampala, and that is done same day delivery from what we've had in our pilot. Then we have the ecosystem where Mama Pinky is able to pay her suppliers. So if she wants to buy, I don't know, Coke or Sprite or Pepsi, she's able to pay the driver of the truck via Momo and get her goods immediately. So I think loans is definitely a very important part of our ecosystem and financial include access to finance. But we do need to look at it as a holistic offering. And Lotlotlo, you've captured it perfectly. We went from having a P2P business where I can just send you money using your cell phone number. We've got PayShop in South Africa. We've got instant EFT. So that's nothing novel, right? It can be done immediately. But when you start including your insurance, your loan, your ability to pay suppliers, your ability to take your products online, to get your goods from your point of view, customer, then we have a different value proposition over and above the value-added services within our Momo app. Ghana and Rwanda to purchase solar online immediately updates my solar timer, and then I have access to solar immediately, school fees, etc. So I think we look at it as an ecosystem. Yes, we've still got a way to go, but we are getting there.
Thanks, Rais. I think you can get into the technical aspect, please.
Cool, happy days. I'm just gonna share my screen quickly. Let me know if it's visible.
Yes.
Great. So the float laws touched on this, our Open API. So this is our website address, momodeveloper.mtn.com. It's public, anyone can access it, and you have the ability immediately to have access to our sandbox. You have you can try the API calls. We've got documentation. We now developing and launching our community platform with Postman scripts, so it makes it easier to insert your application online. Uh, you have the ability to go live self-service. So take my product from in Uganda, I get the KYC documents, and then it goes to back office. So I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, and I'm just going to go back to why. Why did we why did we develop an open API platform? Historically, if anyone wanted to do business or use our APIs, before you even had access to our APIs, you would need to set up a VPN. You would need to sign NDAs. You need to sign a contract. You need to sign terms and conditions, and have prerequisites for business, like go and get your registration documents and all of those, the fun stuff. That could take anywhere from 3 to 6 months because there's so much back and forth before you needed to integrate and VPN, etc. Um, and now you don't need any of it. You have the ability to test and use our APIs at your pace and upload your document and get a reply from MTN within an SLA of between 24 and 48 hours to come back to you, acknowledge your documents, and then take you through the onboarding process. Now that's the first part of our platform. The second part is now that we operate in 17 countries, which 14 of them have our Open API platform. Different countries would have different instances of the technology stack. So the APIs would be different. So now we've standardized all of our APIs across the 14 countries. So if I have a business in Ghana and South Africa and Zambia, it doesn't matter where I am, the APIs are exactly the same. So you test once, you do your KYC per country, and now you've got access to our 65 million customers across our footprint immediately. What this also does is we have 1.5 million active merchants. So if you were to take all the merchants in South Africa and the continent, you will get nowhere near that amount. So 65 million customers have access to 1.5 million merchants to do Momo payments or purchase items on our Momo platform. So I started, we had 65 API calls in 2018, and now doing 150 million API calls a month. So it's been a fantastic journey. And as we go along, we add on new capabilities. So the first stage was a debit and a credit of an account. So I want to pay and he's selling me I don't know, a TV by Open API. He has the ability to debit my account for 10,000 Rand, obviously with my permission, confirming using the Momo PIN, and that will move funds from my account to his business account. Then we have disbursements, which is the opposite, where me as a company, I'd like to pay salaries to my employees. I can use the disbursements API. We have the remittance API, and I think that's self-explanatory, which assists with inbound remittances. So that was our basic API offering. Now we have APIs such as KYC, where I can request information about the float law with his consent. And where this is powerful is if I want to send money to Letlotlo and I get one digit wrong in my cell phone number, that money can go to somewhere else, and I wouldn't even know. Now, this allows me as a remittance partner to retrieve some information, send it back to the sender to say, do you confirm you want to send money to this person? Absolutely, complete the transaction. I'm not going to go through all of the capabilities. Please have a look at the platform and play. It's live in South Africa and the rest of our 14 countries, which you'll be able to find on the website. Then, this will be our third hackathon that we're running for at MTN Group. So the first one was across 5 countries, the second one was across 8, and the third one now is across 14 countries. Part of the reason for the hackathon is obviously partnership. We also want to drive innovation and entrepreneurship. And then Litlo and I, we're not the smartest people in Africa, right? We don't have all the ideas. We can't come up with the next best thing. And this allows young developers to come up with the next best thing. Submit your ideas, get your prototype phase, win money, and um, what's the worst that could happen? You have an application that you've now gone live with and developed, and you can take it to the next level. A caveat: the hackathon is not here to steal your IP. The terms and conditions clearly state that whatever you submit, any idea that you submit, any prototype, any code you submit, remains your intellectual property, not mine, not MTN. That remains yours. Um, and getting into the hackathon, so it's across uh, 2 phases, right? First phase is called the idea phase. The idea phase is where you register on the hackathon website and you have the idea phase started on the 31st of July. So you have from the 31st of July until the 3rd of September to submit your idea on the hackathon page. Once that is, once the idea phase is being concluded, the ideas are sent to the various country API champions to evaluate them, and then the top 12 ideas per country are selected to go through to the prototype phase. So after idea phase, we select our top 12. The top 12 are invited to the event in the country, and they're invited to take part in the prototype phase, where you have to build a working prototype of the idea that you've submitted. And that prototype or the idea must use our APIs, our Momo APIs, as part of your idea. It also doesn't exclude you from using any other open source components, for example, location-based services, any of that cool stuff to include as part of your ideas as part of your prototype. After 3 weeks, the top 12 are invited to an event where you will be required to present your prototype to a panel of judges, and then the top 3 will be selected, and you would win your share of 10,000 US dollars in your country in local currency. So first place is 5,000 USD in rands. Second, 3,000. Third, and 2,000 USD. As at right now, we have 2,608 registrations, and that's in 3 days, or let's call it 5 days. This is unheard of from me. Last hackathon, after 5 weeks, we had 1,000 registrations. So we have acknowledged that we're here to drive innovation and entrepreneurship to assist through our APIs, and this has been like phenomenal. Just like blows my mind on how far we've come. The theme was a question on the theme of the hackathon. It's open-ended, but you need to solve for the part of financial inclusion or access to financial products using our APIs. For example, transport. You want to be able to use your location-based services plus our APIs to allow a customer to purchase a ticket to use on a specific mode of transport to take ferrying across Lake Victoria, for example. Um, that includes, I mean, that's part of transport, and you're getting driving financial enablement going forward. So yeah, that's me. Um, and have a play around, have a look at the hackathon website. There's a discussion forum where you can ask your questions. You can also link up with other developers from here. Um, and that's it. Any questions? Let's also, do you want to add any comments first?
No, Raiz, I think you've covered everything from what I said, from what you said, sorry. Look, okay, yeah, maybe one. So some of the comments is we're not prescriptive, right? So what we do try to limit is that there needs to be a maximum of 4 members per team. We're not prescriptive in terms of all team members need to be from Sidimulong. If you've got friends in Cape Town, in Durban, in Limpopo, and also you want to register as one team, we allow you to do that. We're not prescriptive in terms of how many ideas you submit. You can submit as many ideas as you want, but experience has taught us that that one idea that you refine and you articulate succinctly has a higher chance of winning as opposed to submitting 15 ideas that are very basic or are not as right. I think yeah, that's what I needed to say. Yeah. So we're not prescriptive in that sense.
In advance to your question,
Yes, sir.
let's just pass the mic to Matt.
Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to ask with regards to the API access. So my question also relates to the previous presentation that you made. If say I have a business and I want to use Momo as a payment option, right? Does that mean I get to use your API as some form of a free daily?
Is that the only question or are there more?
And the next question is, you said there were only 12 people or 12 teams are going to be selected for phase two.
Raiz, it is 12, yes? For phase two.
Sorry, just if you can repeat the question, it's a bit hard to hear from my side.
No, you just wanted confirmation from us if the number of teams that get through to phase two is 12.
Yeah, so 12 per country.
So then what happens to, if we register now on that platform, right, we'll have access to the data and so we can use the API, like what happens after the end of this phase? Will our access be revoked or?
To the APIs?
Yes.
All right. So, and please correct me, Raiz. So, access to the sandbox, once you register, will be provided to you, I think, indefinitely. So, and the reason why we offer access to that sandbox is so that you can do testing. And then for most of our corporates, once they've tested and they're happy, then they will engage us from a commercial standpoint. Agreements will be signed, and then we will create keys for them so that they can access our production environment.
No, I think the question that Vance is trying to
Yes,
understand
so I'm saying that According to me, Rais can confirm whether that
Yep.
access is given indefinitely or
Yep.
if that. So
Yep.
yes, access is
So
given indefinitely.
you can go to the sandbox now and have access to all of the APIs. Anyone can have access to the APIs.
Okay. Your question was.
I was asking if we had used the Momo uh, payment option
Yes.
as part of my business,
Yes.
would it act as a free pay gate?
No, it's not free.
Because
No. So there's commercials that we'll need to engage, depending obviously on the type of the business, the size of the opportunity. We will then negotiate the terms. But for example, our baseline commercial structure is that for any collections, we charge 2%, and for disbursements, we charge 2. But obviously, that is the baseline. So, depending on the size of the opportunity and other variables that we take into account, we can then make a determination. Thank you.
There's a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, Good day. I have a question regarding the prepaid insurance. Earlier, you made an example that you can go visit somewhere and then you want to take the prepaid insurance. So my question is, how much do I pay? And do I take the insurance in advance knowing that I'm going somewhere? For example, let's say it's raised Monday and I'm going somewhere Friday. So am I able to take the prepaid insurance and how much do I pay?
All right. So on the insurance bit, unfortunately, I'm not the subject matter expert, but I can answer is that yes, you have to pay in advance because it is a prepaid insurance. So you know which days you're going to travel, where you're going to travel, and there are other variables that they take into account. So what I can do is I can note this question down in terms of what determination or what matrix do they use to determine the price, and then I can give feedback to be able to give back to you. Is that fine? Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? No questions from online.
Okay, maybe I'll ask about the prize money. What is the prize money for the developers who win?
So the prize money is 10,000 US dollars, but in local currency. So first prize will be 5,000 US. Second prize is 3,000. Third prize is 2,000 US, but in local currency.
Cool. Yeah, so yeah, I think if there's no other questions, I think I'm happy that we can wrap up. Thanks to everyone that came through. Hopefully that you will apply. I'll send you the links and I'll send you other information to that is sent me. And then if you are really interested, just also let me know and just ask Cameron for my details and then I'll look you in.
Raiz, any closing remarks on your side?
No, thank you so much for attending. I really appreciate the time and good luck.
Yeah, look, I think from me as well to iterate is I think it's a great opportunity. It's a platform that will um, expose your ideas and potentially give you opportunities to hopefully win a share of the 10,000 US. And look, you never really know. You get exposed to also other developers once you register on the sandbox. There's other developers that are on the group. You might exchange ideas and something may come out of it. So look, bring your best foot forward, and yeah, I wish you guys all the best of luck, and I hope that everyone participates in this initiative.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ray. Cheers.
All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.